Jesus said this verse right here, this next one. Trust in God. Trust also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms, or many dwelling places, or many mansions, or whatever you want to call it. If it were not so, I would have told you, I'm going there to prepare a place for you. I am the way to this place. He says, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. The dogs don't know the truth. The dogs think the truth is based in the cosmos, in this world, in the things of the flesh, and the intellect, and the human abilities. There are so many people who are operating out of that worldview that it's all about me and it's all about the things in our world and the fleshly realities. That's what it's all about. Well, I'll talk about what Paul thinks about those things even more in 2 weeks. Jesus is the way. He is the truth and the life. Paul said, be on your guard, be aware, be observant of those who would come amongst you and who are dogs. And by that he means, really, they may not even look evil. They not a bit, but they're coming. They're not worshipers. You know, they're not about giving glory to Jesus, and they're all about programs and their ideas and their way of doing things and human effort and so on. He says you need to be aware of them. And he said, he said this because he expected them to do something about it. And be on your guard, so that these people are not going to harm the Lord's church. Make sure they don't become in a leading capacity, that they're not up leading worship, that they're not your leadership team people and your prayer team people and your ministry team leaders and influencers, and not teachers, and not in trusted positions where they can lead people astray. And to confront those dogs when they're causing problems. I got to tell you, one of my biggest weaknesses in 22 years of full-time ministry is my inability, and my failure, I should say, of recognizing dogs for who they are. I can't tell you how many times I've brought a Rottweiler right into the church. I've done it before. And I was either naive, ignorant, stupid, I don't know, or maybe all of the above. And then they come in and they eat a bunch of people up. But then I go back to, petting bad dogs again. It's just, but I think the Lord's finally teaching me. And I need to be willing to confront those fears of those who come in and do harm. And so does other leadership and those who are of the true circumcision. We need to recognize a dog for who a dog is. I've been bit a lot of times, and you have too. I know you have. And so we need to be vigilant in protecting the flock. Those who are in relationship with God, they love to worship. They love to brag on Jesus. It's as natural as an orange tree bearing oranges. I mean, they don't have any confidence in their own way of doing things. They're trusting in Him, in Him alone. That's a tough lesson. It's been a tough lesson for me to receive for 22 years. It's a lesson for mature ears. It's a lesson that is not just meant to lay there and think, okay, I understand. It's a lesson for us to do. Because as we go out into the world as a community of faith, and we introduce people to Jesus, and they come into a saved relationship with Jesus Christ, and then we teach them how to fall deeper in love with Jesus, we also need to protect them. One of the reasons why the average congregation size is 75? Did you know that's the average congregation size in the United States is 75? I just found that out this last week. Because the dogs are ruling. That's why. The dogs are ruling. And they come in, and by the way, they'll come in, they'll eat up your place, and then they'll go and they'll tear up another place, and they'll go to another place and tear it up. It's an important lesson for us to act on and base what we do on. And make sure that I'm not one of them. That my faith has diminished down into a religion and not a relationship with the creator of this vast universe, who wants to use us in bringing other people into a relationship with Him. When does eternity begin? You ever thought about that for a human being? It begins at conception. It's not like something we're deferring until somebody preaches our funeral. We're in eternity right now. Do you realize that? What has been created in you, a soul, something very special, in the image of God, will go on forever and ever and ever. Eternity is now. There's only one thing that's different right now and after our death. We can change our situation now. We can come into a relationship with Jesus Christ now. We can't do that later on. So if you're not a Christian today, please, on the other side of that wall, we've got people who will pray with you and to lead you to the Lord. So if somebody needs some ministering to, again, on the other side of that wall. As the worship team leads us, you please come. Let us minister to you.